ملقنا خما كنوري كم عاتشبين وكاتاش من تكلاس كوكا خطا ديناي كميات فيلا رجعنا لين بايسا لسلاسام شيء باشي هو عبيد الله تبي ساخر شيء سلاسام دعوة سكاب براتين سهيلاتين تبي عبيد أسيسا مخا سخزنا إني بشوف خالتين براخل برخطا ديناي أما قديش ناسي بتصير Arab of like a Vitzara Haviv, Kivi, Chalur Rachamacha, Hamerachim, Kivi, Samakatanacha, Kimerilom, Kivinulach, Rakulam is very Hisam Misastation, Kamakino, Tamilam Bawai, Kaimino Hasela, Yahalalushim, Hagadu, Ilam Kitai. Hoel Yeshua Sinu Bisa Sinu Salah Velatari Barakatwali no Atek Shimcha Ucha Noel Haidai Simshala in Teu Ranka Chaim Kain Vahas Rachmi Malin Malko Iso Amecha Verchino Vinu Kono Kachad Verpanacha Ki Verpanacha Satalano Adnei Lino Teres Chaim Vavas Kasen Sitako Viracha Virachmi Mechaim Shalom Etei Necha Verchim Paisa Bako Ace Abishai Mecha Barakatwali no Amabari Kasama Israel Vashalom Kazin Shavasin of Sakshi, Meno Mamar came with Gravisham and Ravisham Namar. Ozrino Lihishino at the back of Batilina Vilcabra, Hatisino, the Mancha Maho, is how his college made of the developers, Sevilla, Sevilla, Smithon, and Victor Michigan, I find you behind the high hobbies, Sabak, always one college, you know, I mean, is very private team, it's not that it's always been a good show, Dus we gaan zeggen, gewoon zo daarmee nog allemaal die normen in het zal ook zijn de zijn de hobby's zo. Kan maar wel in die beschrijving in normen je zal maar weet je maar we gaan even alleen wel kan zo in normen. Hij zo zal niet meer maar hoe ja zo zal maar alleen wel kan zo in normen. Alleen dus weer this was we know this was like our okay. Remember, we are the alcohol is my email, and I told you my alcohol. Amen. 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 That's okay. There's a young man collecting stock over here for a good cause. Whoever was able to help him, to try to help him. So, help him. Today in Jewish history, tonight, the year 2020 of the Common Era, the great Herschel the Great graduated Hebrew Academy. It's at night or before Shkia or after Shkia? Graduating starts at, I don't know what I think it goes by the start, even though it goes as a after Chitom. But anyway, who said I'm talking about you? I said Herschel the Great. I said 2020. It's a 2022. The year 1096. So we know this Shabbos is Shabbos Mevarchim. The Shabbos we bless the new month of Sivan, and usually on Shabbos Mevarchim we skip Avarachim. This Shabbos Mevarchim we're going to say Avarachim, like Ari mentioned this morning, because of the Gzeira of Tach, because of the Chomnitsky, because of the Crusades, which took place at this time. There were cases when the Crusades came to attack the Jewish community, and we were saved by none other than the local bishop. Like tonight in Cologne, they came to attack us in the year 1096, and the bishop is the one that didn't let them enter the city, and he's the one who's thanks to him that the Jews of Cologne were spared. There were times when the Crusaders officially was the Christians coming after the Muslims and then killing all the Jews in between. But there were times when they got together to get rid of the Jews. For example, tonight's the yahrzeit of over 1,200 Jews in Toledo, in Spain, where the Muslims and the Christians of the city came together to attack the Jews of Toledo, and they massacred over 1,200 Jews. Tonight's the yahrzeit in Sham Shavaviyah. Tonight's also the yahrzeit. The author of the Chavas Das and the Nesivis HaMishpat, his name is Yaakov Luberbaum,
Passed away 1832. His svarim are still used today. That is dangerous history. Some halacha. All right, so we were learning the other night last night we were learning about cooking on Yom Tov. We're allowed to cook on Yom Tov. We're even allowed to make a fire on Yom Tov, meaning from an existing flame. We can't create a flame on Yom Tov, but we could use an existing flame. We could take from one fire to the next fire to create fire to cook. Nevertheless, we're not allowed to chop the wood on Yom Tov unless they're too large to use as fuel. If it's too large to use for fuel, then you could chop it to be able to make it usable, to be able to cook with it. However, if it could be used, just it's a little clumsy, it's not comfortable, you cannot chop up the wood on Yom Tov, even if we do it by hand.
He didn't even come to me. Tell him to come back here.
All right, sorry. So he's waiting. So he's waiting after. No. What? Oh, okay, sorry. Okay. Ami looks like a millionaire. Ami, you have the look. What should I tell you? Zat Hashem. We're also not allowed to collect wood to go around to different to let you have wood spread out around the field. We're not allowed to go collect because then it doesn't look like you're collecting wood. You could go and take a wood that you need and bring it to the fire, but you can't go collecting wood because then you're taking that's a weekday job. That's not for you. That's not. You're clearing out your field now. So if you need a piece of wood, you take it and you bring it to the fire. But there's no collecting wood because maybe we're going to need it for the fire. That we can't do on Yom Tov. When we gather the wood, we're building a wood for a fire. Let's say on Yom Tov. So we can't. You can't build it. You can't make it. What's it called again? When you go like this to fire this way, like when you stack it. It's called just stacking it. So there's not a name for it. In this way, the teepee, whatever, teepee fire. And the other way, there's no name for it. I remember. So you shouldn't build it in a way where it's like building a tent or a house, a construction. If it's done in a way of like construction style, we can't do that. So if you put 3 logs, that's making a fire. That's fine for cooking. But if you start putting it organized, that's already like making. That's already has a problem. That's a problem of construction. I Yom Tov, and we're not allowed to do that. The rule is that if you have 2 mechitzas, but any wall, 2 walls, Yeah, but it doesn't mean that. If it means 2 walls, and you put a gag, you put a roof on top, that's already construction. That's considered making it's considered making a tent, and we're not allowed to do that on Yom Tov or Shabbos for that matter. It's only Yom Tov. Shabbos, you're not allowed to even touch it. You can't do it together. But now, when you build this fire, do it with a shina. Do it with something a little different. Don't just. So what you could do is, let's say you want to put a pot on the fire. So let's say you have 2 walls, and you're putting the pot down on top. That's again, you have 2 walls and putting a pot. That's putting a roof over it. That's making a tent. That's a problem on Yom Tov. So what do you do? I'm sure. I guess there's parameters to what's considered, what's not. I'm not sure. It's not a lot of a tent over here. It's a lot of cooking on Yom Tov. But he just says, it's a tefach. Okay, tefach. Okay, it's very small. That's all. So if you, It's nothing. Yeah. So if you're putting a pot down, you want to put a pot down, you have two holes, you want to put a pot down. So the way to do it, let's say there's not even wood. Let's say you have stones, two stones, and you're putting a pot down. So then again, you're making a tent. So what do you do? Shulchan Aruch tells us, take the stones away, put the pot, and then put the stones. So you're not putting a roof. You're not putting but you're not putting a roof on top of the walls. You're putting the walls under the roof. Okay. That's what you do it. If it's not the regular way, he says. So you think you have two stones, you have fire, right? You have two stones, and you put the pot on top. You have a problem. Tent. What do? Take the stones away, put the pot on the fire, light the fire, put the pot there, and then put the stones in. So you're not putting a gag, you're not putting a roof on top of walls, you're putting walls under the roof. So that's not a problem. So Shinoi is doing it differently. That's why he says you should do it. That's not how you build, exactly. It's not the way of building. Yeah.
You can't do it inside out because it's inside out.
We're not, let's say you want to, let's say you want to fire up your fire. So there's a special tool called a bellow. I think it's called a bellow, right? Where and it blows the fire, right? And you it's like you're not stoking the fire, you're making the fire. So we're not allowed to use that on Yom Tov because even though you're allowed to make your fire go bigger, but you can't use that because that's a professional tool made for enlarging fires. And therefore, do it a different way, and that is through a towel. Take a towel. And so that's the way the Olam is noiheg. He says that's the way the world. That's the way we do it. Take a towel and you blow it with the towel. And that's the way it's a Shino. It's doing it different. But even there, you should make sure not to use it's professional. If it's made for the fire, then you shouldn't use it. Made for the mikvah, made for the shower, and now you're using it for the fire. That looks like a good candidate to use. Stoke your fire on your bed. All right. מעריב. Anyone want to be chazed with מעריv? Dave, you want to be chazed with מעriv? Sure. You are. You're going to have a word with your bar mitzvah teacher. Yeah.
قاعد بيسكت عشان يلعبوا كنا لازم نحن خلاص بس ما كان غير الشيخ يا اخي نحن خلاص ليس دعوه ما كان غير من امين ورخاته أدينا يلينا من خيلا ما شاير كذي شلون بنتفيسا بنتي وانا أصبير عسوين هاي أي نعبا يا أي مشي خميس شبلايس خميس أيام من
One morning I was there to time of bar mitzvah. Pilot's son who discovered pilot who discovered who crazy story. Child Jewish.
I was sleeping.
Why are you sleeping after school? School's a time for sleeping, not after school.